Sawasdee krub. On today's program, the Thai government says it'll help any company affected by the blockage of the Suez Canal. No plans to evacuate Thai citizens from Myanmar at this time. And random drink drive testing is going to commence around Bangkok starting this Wednesday. So you better call a cab if you're going to get lit this weekend. But we start off today with a shout out to Thaiger Legends Mirko, Frank, and Bradley. Thank you so much for your great support. And let's get started. So now our first story, the Thai government says it's ready to help businesses affected by the blockage of the Evergreen cargo ship owned by Evergreen Marine in Egypt's Suez Canal. The 400-meter container ship was blown off course and got stuck sideways in the canal last Tuesday and has been wedged there ever since, leading to chaos in world shipping. Currently, there remains a fleet of ships marooned on either side of the blockage, some 300 ships carrying consumer goods, livestock, electronic equipment, and food. Now, as of this program's production time, the ship was still sitting astride the canal as frantic efforts continue to free it. Although it has been partially freed, insurance companies estimate that the cost to world trade caused by the blockage could be around $10 billion every single day. So as a result, deputy spokesperson of the Thai government says authorities are ready to help any businesses that may be affected by shortages caused by the incident. He said, quote, "If the private sector has any problem, the government is ready to help." He noted that PM Prayut Chan-o-cha has been following the story closely with an eye to helping Thai exporters and importers. Meanwhile, Thailand's Energy Policy and Planning Office says the blockage will have minimal impact on Thailand's energy supply as very little natural gas is imported into the kingdom via the Suez Canal route. Now some fun facts about the Suez and the Evergreen. The Suez Canal was opened in 1869 after 10 years of construction and is 193 kilometers long. In the past 12 months, an average of 51 ships have passed through the canal every single day. Evergreen is one of the largest container ships in the world and was built in Japan. It was traveling from Malaysia to Rotterdam in the Netherlands when it got blown off course by a sandstorm, swinging it around and into the side of the canal. How many 40-foot containers does the Evergreen carry, you may ask? A few hundred? 1,000 maybe? No, more like 20,124 40-foot containers. It's actually not the first time the Evergreen has been involved in a serious maritime incident. On the 9th of February of 2019, the ship struck and heavily damaged a 25-meter ferry boat near the harbor of Hamburg. Again, high winds were blamed for the incident. Thailand's Ministry of Foreign Affairs says the deteriorating situation in Myanmar is not serious enough to require the evacuation of Thai citizens. For now, anyway. Thani Sangrat from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says the situation is being assessed on a daily basis, and the ministry is working with the Royal Thai Embassy in Yangon to prepare an evacuation plan should such a step become necessary. He points out that no Thai citizens have been harmed in the conflict currently gripping the country since a military coup on February the 1st. The Burmese military ousted the democratically elected Aung San Suu Kyi government nearly 2 months ago. Now, their justification was that November's election was fraudulent. Since then, the situation has become more fraught, with the army launching airstrikes over the weekend, targeting villagers in an area controlled by an armed resistance group. Thousands of displaced villagers have thought to have fled into Thailand in the aftermath, with the United Nations accusing the Burmese junta of crimes against humanity. More than 400 Burmese citizens have been killed in Tatmadaw's crackdown on dissenters since the coup. Meanwhile, the British Embassy in Yangon has advised its citizens to leave Myanmar unless they have an urgent reason to stay. 39 new COVID infections were reported today in the CCSA's daily briefing. Thailand now has 1,366 active cases. Since the start of the pandemic, there's been a total of 28,773 coronavirus infections and 94 deaths. Out of the 39 new cases, 16 were local transmissions linked to areas including Bangkok, Samut Sakhon, Kalasin, and Mahasarakham. The case in Kalasin is the first in the province in several months. A CCSA spokesperson says the woman had recently visited a friend in Bangkok's Bangkok district where a cluster of infections was reported. 12 cases were detected through active trace and testing in Bangkok, Samut Sakhon, and Ratchaburi. The other 11 cases were detected in quarantine for those arriving to Thailand from overseas. So with bars and nightclubs now back open, the Bangkok police plan to crack down on drunk driving. DUI checkpoints will be set up around the city starting on April the 1st. Now, Bangkok is still classified as an orange zone by the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration. Now, in orange zones, bars and nightclubs are ordered to close at 11 p.m., while in yellow zones, the venues are ordered to close at midnight. But despite restrictions on hours, as you know, bars and nightclubs in Bangkok have been open past 11 p.m., some until 2 a.m., still selling alcohol as usual. So you can say that nightlife is nearly back to normal. The reports don't say exactly where the checkpoints will be, obviously, but Bangkok police station chiefs have been told to set up the alcohol checkpoints in areas where there are frequent accidents. Now, looking ahead to the return of foreign tourists, Thai tourism officials are planning to improve safety standards for adventure activities like zip lining in an effort to prevent accidents from happening and to gain tourist confidence. In 2019, a Canadian man died in a zip line incident in Chiang Mai. He was attached to the harness, ready for the 5-kilometer flight of the Gibbon, when he stepped off the platform and then fell 12 meters to the ground. He died from the impact. Flight of the Gibbon said at the time that there was a metallurgical failure. I don't know what that means either, but the man's family said they believe the cable clamps were not fixed properly before he left the platform. To come up with new safety standards, the Ministry of Tourism and Sports has teamed up with Kasetsat University's Faculty of Engineering, I guess to ensure metallurgical success this time. So far, they've created manuals for adventure tourism to help prevent accidents. Not only would improved safety standards help gain trust from tourists, it will also help the growth of tourism, according to the ministry. And that's all for the news. Now let's hear the weather reports from Tim.
Starting off in the capital today, moderate air conditions will be getting worse though for the next couple of days. We've got some cloud around, top temperatures of 37 and 36. To Phuket, clear around the island today. We've got a few showers and a little bit of cloud around, very humid, but the air quality should remain okay for the next 2 days. Up in Thailand's northeast and very high temperatures, we've got air quality that's unhealthy for sensitive groups, reading of 137, but it will improve a bit for Tuesday and Wednesday. Up to the north of Thailand and Chiang Mai, the worst of today's readings, 155, will continue for the next 2 days. Temperatures up to 40 degrees and some cloud around with some sun peering through on Wednesday. To Thailand's central Gulf Coast and moderate air conditions today, much the same tomorrow, but we'll be getting a bit worse on Wednesday. Temperatures of 33 degrees expected and some showers possible. And to Pattaya, we've got moderate air conditions today, much the same tomorrow. We'll be getting worse on Wednesday as well. Temperatures of 33 and cloudy.
Thanks, Tim, and thank you for watching Thailand News Today. You're now up to date on the Thaiger. Sawadee krap.